Today on the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll review the Tigers' wins over William & Mary and James Madison. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Basketball Report starts now. Hello and welcome to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm Ben Rosenbaum. The Tigers had a game on the road and a game at home this past week, defeating William & Mary here in CQ and sweeping the James Madison Dukes by a score of 60-55. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Close in, shot is up and no good. Rebound, Jenna Green working against Jordan Smith. Hook shot up and in. 6-0, 8:22 to go in the first quarter. Green. Over the head pass right to Raven Bankston, intended for Massaquoi. Raven in a foot race. She's trying to outrun three Tribe members. Gets around Tremba. Scoop shot up and in. 14-8. Martin, another pick from Mary. Puts the floater up off the glass and in. 20-12. 7:58 to go in the second. Martin calling for it. She's open. Pulls up. Three ball is good. Siani Martin from downtown. 28-16. 3:33 to go in the second. Into the corner to Tremba for three. Good. 36-34, 12 on the shot clock. Martin inside the Maya. She's open. She goes up and gets it to go. 48-46. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Boggs way out. William & Mary. Raven pokes it away. She's off and running. It's a 2-on-1. Raven to Siani. Siani up and in. What a roll! 54-46. 7:20 to go. Rain splits to D but can't keep the ball with her. Rain to Green, back to Reynolds. Reynolds up and in, 61-55.
Martin by herself in the quarter, finds her and knocks it down. So Martin with a couple of three-pointers here in the fourth quarter. Here's Raven Bankston from deep. Bang, big shot there. Here's Raven Bankston. She's been hot lately. So is Martin. Wide open three. Got all three of them. And the Dukes now trail by two.
Maya Lee and Mary Cuevas each recorded a double-double in the win over the Tribe. Raven Bankston dropped 26 points en route to defeating Precious Hall and the Dukes. Towson's sweep marked the first time the Dukes have lost two CAA games and have been swept in a series since the 2012-2013 season. I'm joined by the coach of the Tigers, Niki Reid Geckeler. And Coach, for your Tigers, starting with that William & Mary game, the post-production, Maya and Mary getting the double-double, that's been huge.
I mean, you said it best. Anytime you can get your big ladies going, that's a tremendous help for our program. And from Maya Lee to Mary to Bree Bush to Deja Thomas, they're all filling that role for us.
Sticking with Maya and Mary, you obviously start Bree and Jordan over them. Maya and Mary, Maya was dealing with a little bit of a nagging injury at the beginning of the season. Mary was still getting her feet under her. Their production was a little slow, or their development was a little slow. When did you notice that they might be ready to go? And it really seemed like it was that first game against James Madison.
Definitely. I think they kind of went home for the Christmas break and spent time with family and kind of came back with this newfound energy. But you're correct. I mean, it started flowing. They started working off of each other well and just feeling a level of comfort on the court.
Deja Thomas, you mentioned her. She's been huge these last couple of games. I think back in the Charleston game might have been the game where she just kind of exploded for you guys. In the James Madison game, she hits huge foul shots down the stretch, and then towards the end of the game, when you guys are up and it's looking like you have it in the bag, you pull everybody off the lane during her foul shots. She's got four Dukes surrounding her, and she pulls down a huge board. She's playing with a different mentality than we've seen in years past.
Definitely, sense of urgency. And you know, it's funny, her mom comes to every home game and she's sitting in the stands. And if you look in the record books, Mom was key. She was a rebounder. She owned the lane, and I think Deja's now taking on that personality.
Ever since Mary and Maya kind of have hit their own, Jordan and Bree have taken a little step back. Are you still working with them that even though they're not getting the minutes they once did, they're still a huge part? Because if you could kind of split up Maya and Mary and maybe have Maya and Jordan out there, Mary and Bree out there, or Deja, that's going to be really effective if you could split up the time that Maya and Mary have to be on the court together.
Exactly. You know, the good thing we can do with Mary and Maya is we have those twin towers. That's what I like to call them. But the calming voice in our post presence is Jordan and Bree Bush. They kind of set the tone. They start the game. You know, it gives Maya and Mary an opportunity to really see what's going on and come in and make an impact. So you can't undermine or even underestimate the importance that Jordan and Bree Bush have with this squad and this program this year.
Looking at your games this past week, two of the tougher opponents in the CAA, William and Mary at home, and then on the road against James Madison. William and Mary 13-2 entering play against you guys, and you know, another close game, but you guys handled them well. It didn't seem to back down to the fact that they've barely lost this season.
You know, it's been our defensive intensity and our defensive effort that's really gotten us those wins. You've seen prolific scores that we've played against from William and Mary, from JMU, and our young women decided, you know, collectively together, we're going to get out and we're going to stop them.
Marlena Tremba, their leading scorer, and obviously for JMU, Precious Hall, and you just said it, you take their leading scores, and you guys have done this in years past, always haven't gotten the result, but you take somebody's leading scorer and you take them out of their game.
Exactly. You know, we really focused on that, but then we talked about the role players. Early on in the season, we did that same thing, had that philosophy where we might defend their best player, but then they'd have role players that would step up. So now we're kind of gelling defensively, paying attention to the scout report. You know, we tell them all the time to be locked in, connected, and focused, and we've definitely done that on the defensive end.
That JMU game, obviously a big one. The Dukes maybe feeling like they owed you guys some payback after you, in their words, stole one from them here in CQ. Mm-hmm. It was a really tight game. Precious Hall got a little loose early on. Siani and Rain and Raven did a good job marking her. What were you telling them? Because there was a stretch where it looked like JMU was going to run away with that.
You know, I think our young ladies had the confidence that they could beat JMU. And I think that confidence that we gained here at our spot propelled us, took us to another level defensively. And again, I mean, Raven and Siani absolutely went nuts, I think, in that fourth quarter. And then again, I think you stated it earlier, Deja Thomas did all the little things. So we did everything we needed to do to come out with that victory.
That will do it for us today on the Tiger Basketball Report. Join Coach G and I next time when we preview the Tigers game against UNCW. For Coach Niki Reid Geckeler, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.